Hello, I am Antonia Okereke, an early years parenting and self-esteem coach. My view on handling sexuality development in children. Assuming you walked into your son's room, your 4-year-old son's room, and you meet him pants down with your neighbor's 4-year-old daughter, what will you do? I'll leave you to ponder on that as we continue. Now, sexuality development is part of a whole, just like physical development, social development, emotional development, and the rest of them. There are different areas that a child needs to develop very well to become a healthy adult. Now, if this area of development is not well handled, it can distort the healthy formation of a child. It can lead to raising a sexually dysfunctional adult. That's an adult that is more attracted to the same sex than the opposite sex, and an adult that is a sex addict. So we need to learn what is normal and what is abnormal, so we can step in to help the child and guide the child accordingly. Like I said initially, sexual development is similar to physical development. The same way a child moves from learning to sit without assistance to walking to jumping and running, a child moves from feeling controlled to self-controlled adult sexually. So we need to handle this area of development very well. Sexual feelings exist in all ages because we are sexual beings. It starts from birth and spans through adulthood, and it starts to manifest physically when the diapers are off. Children discover that when they touch their private parts, that it feels good. That touching their private parts, penis or vulva, feels good, and they keep touching it, not because they are getting gratified sexually, but because it feels good to touch. Who doesn't like such feeling? So from the age of 3 to 6, they become aware of their gender differences. Some girls might become jealous of boys because they have penis and they don't. That's penis envy. And some boys will love being girls more than being boys, and they showcase it by dressing like girls and being girlish. They wear feminine costumes and the rest of them. At this age, they become curious to know why boys have penis and girls have vulva, and they showcase this curiosity by examining their private parts during play and playing doctor. You see them trying to shook each other injection as they play, and they often fixate on their genitals, fondling it because that place is well innervated and it feels good touching, and they touch it often because it feels good to touch. In fact, they masturbate very well at this age, and the masturbation happens when they are bored or tired or tensed. All these are normal sexual behaviors, but when viewed through the adult sexual lens, it seems abnormal. They are just normal and natural. Reacting to these sexual behaviors by hitting the child, shaming, or scolding will only heighten the feeling to do so or the desire to do so, and they will do it more. If they're not doing it openly, they will be doing it secretly. How do we help the child? From 0 to 3 years old, show lots of love, care, and affection. You can never love your child too much. Show a lot of affection by hugging, pecking your child. Anything that can make the child feel loved, especially anything that can make him feel loved by skin to skin touch. Just do a lot of it. Toilet train your child with respect for the child. Be as patient as you can as he moves from messing the house up to using the potty. Don't shame, hit, or yell at a masturbating child. I know it's such an ugly sight to behold, especially when the child does it in public places. But the best thing to do is not to yell, is not to hit, and is not to shame the child, but to teach the child the concept of privacy, what privacy is and what his private parts are and what they are meant for. Teach him that he can only bring out his private parts in private places like the toilet and the bedroom, and he's bringing out his private part there is to urinate or to clean it, that his private part belongs to him and to God. Because often we teach that the private part belongs to me and me alone. The danger of teaching that is that when the child sees his private part as his property, then he has the right to handle it as it deems fit. But when he sees his private part, just like the rest of his body, as belonging to God, and I believe by now you must have started teaching him the about God and who God is. So if you're telling the child that God is a supreme being that created him, that made him to be, then telling him that his body belongs to him and to that supreme being, it will help him understand that his body does not just belong to him. It's not just his property, and he's not supposed to handle it any way, anyhow he feels fit, anyhow he deems fit. That he should use his body to honor God because it belongs to God too. The Bible made us understand that our body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, and the private part is part of our body, and we should use it to honor God. You can use biblical stories to elaborate on the reward of honoring God with one's body. Joseph honored God with his body and he got a reward for it. Samson dishonored God with his body and he equally got the consequence of his action. Even after teaching, your child will still indulge. It's likely that he'll still indulge because that's the stage of life he is in biologically. It's likely that he'll still indulge in such acts. Try to ignore and divert his attention to something else that can grasp his attention, to playing activities and to other things that can grab his attention. Just try to distract your child when he indulges in it, despite your teaching him, and keep on reinforcing your teachings. Keep your child busy by stuffing the house with unstructured playing materials, because children indulge in this art especially when they are bored or when they are tired or when they are tensed. So now the strategy you should use is keep your child very busy so he doesn't even remember it. Keep him very busy so that his mind is taking off that activity. Keep him as busy as possible, but he should equally have a time of rest. Now, in his time of rest, if you see him indulging, reinforce your teaching. Reinforce your teaching. Don't attach so much importance to his masturbating. Don't make it look like a big deal, because if you make it look like a big deal, he will equally make it a big deal by attaching so much importance to it. Just don't try to react emotionally to it. Handle it calmly, emotionlessly. Okay, don't attach any emotion to it. Handle it as a normal behavior, the same way you handle your child messing up the house. Handle it that way by teaching him how to clean after himself and the rest. Teach him how not to respond to that urge to masturbate. I hope you got value from this. If you do, please subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you. If you got value from this, please subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you.